Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
Canelo Exposed by Bivol proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of a Canelo Exposed subscribers. Canelo Exposed by Bivol subscribers. Let me make sure I get that right, because that's very important that I get that right. But listen, man, one of the best and most exciting fighters in this sport is fighting this weekend. And he comes in the form of Jaron Boots Ennis, the Philadelphia welterweight contender. Will be taking on Canadian welterweight contender Custio Clayton. And look, Jaron Ennis has a whole truckload of fights now. I think his record's like 27-0 or 28-0 or 26-0. It's something like that. He's approaching 30 fights. And, so far, not a ton of great opponents. And people really want to see Jaron Ennis in a fight where he gets taken to the distance, goes deep into a fight, faces some adversity. Now, I think this has a great chance to be that fight with Custio Clayton. Now, Custio Clayton, to most people in boxing, he's still, relatively to most, he's an unknown fighter. Like, he hasn't really made a big splash yet. When you take a quick look and check under the hood of his resume, he's fought, he's fought faded, way past it, DeMarcus Corley, and he's fought Sergey Lipinets. Now, when he fought Lipinets, I thought he boxed a brilliant fight. I thought his jab was working very, very well. I would even go as far as to say that, like, his jab is actually one of the best jabs in the welterweight division. I like his jab a lot, Custio Clayton. It's one of the things that stood out to me when he fought Lipinets. But this is a whole different animal he's taking on in Jaron Ennis. But I'm gonna say this, I like Jaron Ennis, and I'm definitely on the Jaron Ennis hype train. I think he's got the talent, the skills, the ability, the right attitude. I think he's boxing's perfect storm. When you get an elite athlete with some elite fundamentals, with great people around him, that's boxing's perfect storm. And I think he's gonna go all the way, but he's not like any other fighter, whether it's Canelo, Chocolatito, Andrade, freaking Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, Usyk. It doesn't matter who it is. He's not without faults and weaknesses. And, because he has so many tools, sometimes he uses some of his tools at the wrong times, at the wrong place. And he hasn't really cost him too much yet. Like, I was literally just watching Boxing Gems' shout out to Boxing Gems. Make sure you guys go subscribe to them. Your boxing IQ will go up, no doubt about it. But I was watching Boxing Gems' film study on this fight, and like, Ennis, sometimes he can do too much. Sometimes he shifts in and out of stances and gets hit with things he shouldn't get hit with. Sometimes he, abandons his defensive responsibility. And like, these things aren't going to really cost him so much now, but when he gets to that elite level against guys like, Crawford and Spence and those kind of guys, these things will cost him greatly. Now, this is a good chess test because Custio Clayton isn't necessarily a Crawford or a Spence type level fighter, but he's still a very solid and formidable contender who does a lot of things really well. Well-rounded fighter, a guy that has a good jab, a guy that has no problem throwing the right hand, a guy that has a pretty good variety and assortment of counters to land. So this is, out of all the fights Ennis has had in his career to date, if there was ever a fight where he can't afford defensive lapses or switching stances and getting confused or anything like that, this is that fight for him. Because this is a guy in Clayton with a lot to prove. This is a guy in Clayton that's boxed. He boxed very well against Lipinets, but he didn't get the decision. So he didn't really get like the credit or the just due he should have got from the Lipinets fight. But he is a good fighter, and he is someone that Jaron Ennis shouldn't overlook, which I don't think he will, because Ennis strikes me as a guy that knows the sport too well to overlook any man. But I really think it's arrived. I've waited long enough, but I think it's finally arrived. We're finally gonna see Ennis in a fight where he goes to some adversity, and some of the things that he gets away with against lesser fighters, shorter fighters who like to fight out the high guard. I think this is the fight where we finally see Ennis not get exposed, as far as like, he's not gonna lose, he's not gonna get exposed like Canelo did against Bivol, but get exposed as far as like the things he needs to work on if he wants to be the fighter that we know he can be at that top level. I think Clayton's the guy for the job. And listen, it's boxing. Listen, it's boxing. You never overlook or write off or underestimate anybody. Custio Clayton should Jaron Ennis have some sort of letdown, or if he cut any corners in training, which I don't think he did, but this could be a fight where he gets taken to some deep, dark, uncomfortable places. And sometimes when that happens for fighters at the stage of Jaron Ennis' career where he hasn't really been like tested too much yet. I mean, he had Lipinets, which was a good fight, so I don't take anything from that fight. But I'm saying, like, he hasn't been tested too much. Sometimes when a guy like him can get taken to a deep, dark, and uncomfortable place, sometimes they might go to those deep waters and they might not make it back to shore. So we got to make sure he got his floaties on, his proverbial floaties, and you know, his life jacket on. And he's ready to swim, because Custio Clayton, I believe, will be ready to swim. And I do think win, lose, or draw, at some point in this fight, Ennis will have some sort of adversity or a round or a moment where you say, okay, we know he's good, but he's got to work on that, you know. So I'm thinking he's going to win the fight, but Custio Clayton is good enough and has enough tools, has enough in that arsenal to really take him to those places he hasn't been yet in his career. You know, I think this is a chance for Jaron Ennis to make a statement to the welterweight division, because Clayton is a highly ranked contender. This is a chance for Ennis. And listen, people may not know who Custio Clayton is, and it may say, well, who the hell is this guy? We never heard of him. He sucks. He's nobody. But if Ennis were to go in there and do something like along the lines of like stop this guy within 5 rounds, because you know he's been doing crazy things, like, or stop this guy before the 7th round, because he's never seen the damn 7th round or gone past the 7th round. I can't remember if it was the 7th round or past the 7th round, but it's like somewhere around that area. He hasn't gone past there. And if he stops Custio Clayton before the 7th round, like, that to me would be a big statement, and they'll let me know that, hey, this guy is just something out of a damn like video game, you know, straight up. But yeah, I've always rated Jaron Ennis highly. I think he's boxing's perfect storm. Elite fundamentals, elite athleticism. Now it's just all about cleaning things up and not doing too much and keeping things really simple, because I think for Ennis, he's polished enough to where he's at that point in his career where you can say less is more. You know, he don't gotta be too flashy or flamboyant. He don't gotta do too many movements. I think he's gotta tighten up a little bit, and it'll be even better. But yeah, Custio Clayton versus Jaron Ennis. This is actually the fight I'm looking forward to the most on the Charlo Castellano undercard. I'm looking forward to it actually more than the main event, believe it or not. But you guys let me know what you think. Will Jaron Ennis have another statement performance, or will Custio Clayton show some chinks in the armor as he continues to progress in his boxing career? Who knows? You never know. Maybe an upset. You never know what happens in boxing. But let me know all your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button, and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.